Hello, I'm going to be showing you my latest computer build. So this machine is running the AMD A8 APU with the ATI Radeon HD 6550D mobile graphics chipset. So you can see in this test I'm not going to be running a discrete graphics card, as I want to show you guys the performance of the 6550D when running some of the newer games such as Dirt 3, Shift 2 Unleashed, and Modern Warfare 3. Now some of those games are pretty graphically demanding, especially games like Shift 2. Its graphic engine is pretty top-notch compared to other graphics engines. It's one of the best looking simulators that you can play. And Dirt 3 is very graphically, it looks nice, but its graphical engine isn't quite what Shift 2's is. You can tell in the frame rate and just some of the textures. But it's really not even noticeable. So I'll just show you the frame rate between the two. And now Modern Warfare 3's graphics engine isn't really advanced at all, but it still does look good, because you can tell that it's really not that advanced, because I can run this machine at 2560 by 1600 on the 30-inch cinema display with details at high and medium at like 40 frames a second. When Shift 2, I have to run it in a windowed mode at 1280 by 800 with details at medium, and I only get about 35. So, you know, graphics engines do vary, but with this machine, you can pretty much play any game you want. Some you're going to play full screen, depending on what kind of monitor you have. This is a little overkill, especially because this really isn't a gaming monitor. But, you know, it has a high resolution, so I could really test out the graphics card to see just how well it performs. And so far I'm actually blown away on how good this performs compared to graphics cards like my 6870, which is a full-blown discrete graphics card. That one's sitting in the Mac Pro. But anyways, so I'll tell you a little about the machine. I'm running the Cooler Master Hyper 212 CPU cooler with just one 120mm fan. We've got the G.Skill RIPJAW 4x4, so that's 16 gigabytes across 4 DIMMs. DDR3 1600 megahertz with a timing of 99924. Pretty fast RAM. It was about $80 on Newegg. It's some of the highest rated RAM you can buy, so I thought might as well pick it up. And so far I really like the RAM. I can open multiple applications and handle a lot of data transfer between the 4 DIMMs. So over here we have a older Maxtor 7200 RPM, 320 gigabyte, 16 megabit cache hard drive. The hard drive is about 3 years old. So if you were to have a solid state in this machine, you could probably get a 10 to 15 frame per second increase if you're running one of the newer, like a SATA 6 hard drive, since all of the ports in here are SATA 6. And just for the power supply, I'm running a Corsair 850 watt TX power supply. I didn't actually buy the power supply from the machine. I had it in my Hackintosh. Since I haven't received the case yet from Newegg, I'm just using the power supply from my other computer. So let's get on to gaming and see how it performs. Okay, so right now I'm going to be playing Dirt 3. So Dirt 3 is open. I'm just at the main menu, and I'm getting around 50 frames a second in this 3D environment. So that's pretty good. So I just want to take a moment and show you what my settings are at. Graphics options. So I'm running at 1680 by 1050, and when I start to race, you'll see it really doesn't look bad at all. There's a little bit of difference between 2560 by 1600 and 1680 by 1050 when in this game, but it's so much of a minute difference that I wouldn't want to take that effect in frames per second just to get a little bit more detail. So my refresh rate 60, I can't change that. Multi-sampling, so I'm at 2 times. There's my anti-aliasing. V-Sync's off. Aspect ratio is 16 by 10. 16 by 10 monitor. Just got the gamma at 1.0. You can change it to however you want. So if we go down to the detail, we have night lighting medium, shadows medium, all the way to mirrors being medium, crowd and ground cover low. So it's just fair to say everything's on medium, post-process low, skid marks on, ambient occlusion low, clock on low. So everything, if you were to go under options and choose the settings, it'd probably fall under the medium settings. So it's safe to say I'm running 1680 by 1050 at medium detail. And next we'll get to some racing. Okay, so the race is about to start, and as you can see, I'm running Dirt 3, and I'm at just the menu before the race starts, and my frame per second is at 39 right now. And on this map, with the text settings and the resolution settings that I showed you, I seem to be getting around 45 to 40 frames per second as my average. It depends on the area and the track that I'm at. So let's start and see just how well this graphics card performs. So I want you to pay attention to the frames per second and kind of keep an eye on the texture settings and how well it performs. Timer took longer than I thought it would. So as you can see, so far it's really smooth, you know, everything is already there as you come across the corner, nothing's having to be refreshed or, you know, pixelated as you come. It's already all pixelated and ready to go, which really adds to more of the realism of a racer like this. So, if you can tell, it's very playable at this frame rate. You don't really need anything higher than this. I mean, yeah, it would be nice maybe just to be able to do 70 frames a second or whatever this game's coded at. But it's playable at 40 and probably even 30, depending on. I haven't tried it at 30, but I've been playing it at 40. But I'm sure it is playable at 30. I just haven't tried it. Whoa. A little crazy. So, now you've seen a little bit of Dirt 3. I'm going to be showing you Need for Speed Shift Unleashed 2, which is a little bit more demanding than Dirt 3. And so that will be next. Okay, so right now I'm going to be playing some Modern Warfare 3 campaign. So, let's go down to Options. And I'll show you my video settings. So I'm running at 2560 by 1600. Aspect ratio, auto. Anti-aliasing 4 times, 60 Hz screen refresh rate. Sync every frames, no. Most of these three are yes. Screen space, ambient occlusions off. Smoke, soften smoke edges, yes. Bullet impacts, no. We'll just put that on yes for now. Image quality high, texture quality automatic. So go back. So let's do resume game and start. It always gets a little glitchy right here for some reason. Always in the beginning when it's loading. I think it's just because of the hard drive. For some reason, not quite sure why. And it takes a little while to load compared to other machines that I've played on. And I'm going to blame that on the hard drive. It's the only thing I think that it'd be. Everything else is up to par and some of the newest stuff on this machine, so the only thing holding it back would be the hard drive. I wish I had an SSD to test it with, but I don't. So I'm just going to be using the old one. Alright. So, now that we're playing, as you can see, we're getting like average about 40. And so this is really playable too. Really no glitchiness. It's all very smooth and really playable. It looks better than the Xbox even at these settings. I mean, almost as high as you can go. So yeah, as you can see, like I was just running away there. It got a little glitchy. You know, I think it's a hard drive. I'm really not sure. I don't think it's a graphics card that it's causing it to glitch out like that. I really wish I had the SSD to test it with, but I don't. So even if that's just how it plays on this machine, it's really not even a problem. You know, the shadows look good. Everything else, it plays pretty good. I really don't have much to complain about, especially because how cheap the whole computer was. I haven't played on the mouse that much. I mean, I played a little bit, but I kind of wish you could use the Xbox controller with it. I do like controllers more than I like the mouse. Just takes getting used to. Once you played it for a couple hours, on other games, even probably just this game, you get fast at it. It's not a whole learning curve thing. It's just like getting used to a controller when you first started playing. There's the first for everything, So that was Modern Warfare 3, and it did handle it pretty well. Nothing to complain about. I was running it pretty much max settings, and you could see it was very playable. Really good results on this machine. I have nothing I've found so far that is wrong with it. The machine's stable. The temps only hit about 32 degrees Celsius when playing for hours on end. I've played, I believe, Dirt for like 2.5 hours straight. So it's a really good machine for the money, as I've said multiple times, and I just can't stress that enough because yeah, the Intels will be faster. Even some AMDs do have faster processors, like some of the Athlons. Their actual processor speed is faster, but for what you get, the combo that this comes with, it's a really solid machine. And if you want something that's cheap to game on and do just about anything on, this really would be the machine I would look into. The processor costs like $140, RAM costs $80, motherboard costs like another $80, case was $50, power supply, all that good stuff. It starts to add up quick, but once you're all said and done, it's at about $600. And what's really neat about these APUs is that you could take a discrete graphics card such as the ATI Radeon 6870, put it inside the machine, and you automatically have a Crossfire setup. You have the power from the 6550 and the power from the discrete 6870 working in conjunction to give you one video stream. So that's an option, and it's one that I think if you had the money you would want to take use of, because right now, if I did have the 6870 that's my Mac Pro in this machine, I'd probably be seeing 60 frames a second where I'm seeing 30. So for a little bit of money, you can almost double your frame rate. And that's what I like about this machine. It's very upgradable, and just overall, the most bang for your buck as far as what you can buy for speed and price performance. So thank you for watching my video. Goodbye.